Hey friends, it's Gina from Engaged and Anxious, and welcome to this webinar on what to do if you are secretly freaking out about getting married. So, first and foremost, welcome. I am really excited to connect with you. And if you found me, I have a feeling that you probably are freaking out about getting married. And I want you to know that I was once in your shoes and almost threw away my incredible life because I almost let anxiety win. And so that is something that I now help other people work through as well so that they can live and have amazing, happy relationships and be the most confident version of themselves. So if you're here, I want you to know that you are not alone. And I am really excited to share with you a little bit more about my story today and some ways that I can help. So, welcome, welcome. And I want you to know that you are in the right place if you are in a relationship, engaged or not. Okay, so you don't have to be engaged to benefit from this experience today. I want you to know that if you are just in a relationship and maybe you're looking to take the next step, or if you are engaged, all are welcome here, as well as men and women with relationships of all kinds. Okay, so relationship anxiety does not discriminate, and neither do I. We have all types of relationships that I can help with. And if you are experiencing doubts and questioning if you're in the right relationship, you're also in the right place. If you are experiencing intrusive what if thoughts that you just can't shake, you're also in the right place. If you're feeling confused, isolated, and just alone right now, and you feel like no one understands what you're going through, you're also in the right place. Also, if you just feel like you're going crazy and all you want is to feel excited and confident about your relationship and the next step, and this anxiety is prohibiting you from feeling that way, first, just know that I totally understand that feeling. And also know you are also in the right place. So, this is not for you, friends, if you are in an abusive relationship. Okay, so if there is any abuse of any kind, this is not what this is for. If you are also looking for a quick fix without doing any inner work, this is not what this is for. Healing takes some work, y'all. So if you're not willing to put in the work, this is not for you. And if you're not willing to be honest with yourself, this is also, we're here to do some hard work and personal development. And if you are not someone who is able to take responsibility for themselves, then this might also not be the right place for you. So, a little bit about me before we get started. So, I'm Gina. I am currently happily married to my high school sweetheart, and we live in Nashville with our really cute puppy named Parmesan. And that's a picture of us right here. And so, I want to share about my story. And so, let's kind of rewind a little bit and kind of go back to the beginning. Okay. So, I was in your shoes once. I was absolutely drowning in relationship anxiety. And that looked like constantly questioning everything about my partner, about my relationship. I was just like in an anxiety cloud of what ifs and worst case scenarios. I was paralyzed by fear. I was convinced that something was wrong with our relationship since I was feeling this way. I felt really guilty. I felt really confused and I felt really alone. And we actually met when we were 16 years old. Okay, so like I said, we are high school sweethearts. We have been together for 16 years now. And about 9 years ago, we got engaged. And everything was great. Like everything up to that point was amazing. We had done long distance in college, which was hard, but we made it through and finally in together, got engaged. And on the outside, everything seemed perfect. But on the inside, I was freaking out, like full fledged freak out, anxiety, all the things. And I started having really bad intrusive thoughts like, is he the one? Am I making the right decision? What if I'm making a mistake? Am I even ready for this? Do I really love him? And worse off, should I call off my wedding? So, as you can tell, cue the anxiety, because those thoughts are no fun and can be really anxiety inducing if you don't understand what is happening. And unfortunately, these intrusive thoughts did not let up. And for months, I was planning a wedding while internally questioning everything. It was so hard, especially because I would try to talk to my friends and family about this, and no one understood what I was going through. No one got it. And worse off, they told me that if I was having any doubts at all, then maybe I shouldn't be getting married. Yeah, I felt so alone and so confused. It was a low point for sure. And the hardest part was that I knew I loved him. We had a great relationship. There was no abuse, there was no red flags. So why was I feeling so anxious? And for most people that I talk to, like 99% of everyone that I help out, they feel the same way. They say my relationship is great, my partner is amazing, there's no red flags. Why am I feeling like this? And so I found out something really shocking, because I was tired of feeling this way, and I decided, you know what, I need to figure out what's going on here. I'm just really confused. And I found out that my anxiety had nothing to do with my partner and nothing to do with my relationship. It was all about me. And my anxiety was stemming from deeper fears that were actually manifesting as anxiety about getting married. Okay. Yes. Take that in for a second. I know I've just been like dumping a lot on you in the last 5 minutes. So once I realized, okay, this anxiety doesn't have anything to do with my partner. Okay, now, like, what do I do now? So I got to work, and that's when everything changed. So my healing journey began, and I realized the anxiety wasn't about my partner, it was about me. And so I started digging deep. I started understanding the root causes of my relationship anxiety, which we're going to talk about. And slowly I began to develop tools and strategies that helped me heal from that cycle of constant doubt and fear. Okay, so healing from like the root up. Flash forward, after working through my own relationship anxiety, I was able to get married. And now I've been happily married for 8 years. And it's been the best 8 years of my life. And more importantly, I've been able to now help countless other people understand that their anxiety isn't a relationship death sentence, okay? Anxiety and love can coexist, and that this is actually an opportunity for personal growth and deeper connection. So even though it's really hard right now, it was actually for a good reason. Now, my entire life changed the moment I chose to understand where my relationship anxiety was coming from. And I want you to know that if I could do it, you can totally do it too. Okay? Now, a little fine print. I am not a therapist. I am not a relationship guru. Okay? I am just someone who has been exactly where you are right now and was able to find a way out. And so, little caveat, everything I share here is my personal experience, okay? This is not medical advice. This is not advice that you have to take. This is just what's helped me, okay? And so, if you are like, yes, Gina, this is how I've been feeling, this is how, like, everything that you're saying is spot on, then you're in the right place. And I'm really happy that we found each other. And I don't believe in coincidences. I do feel like if you're here for a reason. And so for the second half of this webinar, I am going to walk you through some ways on how to heal this. So if you want to stick with me, let's dive in. Okay, so a couple steps to get started are, first and foremost, understanding what relationship anxiety is. Okay, this is a fairly new thing that not a lot of people are talking about, and I'm here to talk about it. Then, identifying what your root cause or causes are that is causing your anxiety. And then the healing journey and moving forward, what to do about it once you figure that out. So we're going to dig into a little bit about what even is this type of anxiety, okay? So if you're feeling like this, welcome to the world of relationship anxiety. I also use the term engagement anxiety. They kind of go in hand. Basically, relationship anxiety refers to feelings of worry, insecurity, and doubt that can pop up in a relationship, even if everything is going well. This can also include intrusive thoughts and constant worry if you're making a mistake and doubting the success of your relationship. It can also morph into something super fun called relationship OCD, something that I have also experienced. Relationship, if you're familiar with like regular OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, this is a subset of that. And basically, it is a form of OCD in which people experience intrusive thoughts and compulsive behaviors related to their relationship with their romantic partner. So, this can create repetitive thoughts that center on doubts and fears about the relationship, kind of like what I was sharing before about those fears that I couldn't get out of my head that were on a loop of like, am I making the right decision? Is he the one, etc. So, like I said, this is kind of a newer thing that not a lot of people are talking about. I even know that some therapists don't are not well versed in what this is. And so that's also one of my goals is to spread light that this is a real thing that a lot of people struggle with. And even if you haven't known anyone that struggled with this before, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means that you're one of the lucky ones that gets to experience it, just like me. So that's a little bit on relationship anxiety, relationship OCD. Now, from my experience, there are usually one to a couple of root causes of what is causing the anxiety. And it usually, like I said, it doesn't have to do with your partner, it's something else. And so here are a couple common root causes that I like to share. Now, it doesn't have to be any or all of these. It could be one, it could be a couple, it could be something completely different, but these are the most common ones that I see. The first one is the fear of growing up. This one is something that I dealt with, very common. Most common is the lack of self trust. So, this is unable to make confident decisions for yourself. A lot of people struggle with lack of self trust in this world, and that's something that I really like to focus on. We also have the fear of transitions, fear of change. We have feeling unworthy of love, unworthiness, a history of transition anxiety. So, transition anxiety is something where you struggle with life changes. So, like, it could be little things like the first day of school, could be big things like moving, it could be changing jobs, changing careers, could be even just changing of the seasons. So, if you're someone who always gets really anxious about like life changes like that, you could have transition anxiety, fear of commitment or getting hurt. Perfectionism is a huge one that I see a lot. If you struggle with perfectionism, that can definitely be a root cause of relationship anxiety. Change in identity. This is a big one that I see a lot too, of just people not knowing or having a limiting belief that they have to be a different person in order to be in a relationship or be a husband or wife. Low self worth, that's a big one. And then it even could be something such as hormonal imbalances, which I love to touch upon as well. So it could be one, could be multiple, could be something else. These are just a lot of common root causes that I see that are causing the relationship anxiety. Because if you have dealt with anxiety before in your life, and a lot of people who come with relationship anxiety have also experienced generalized anxiety. Um, Anxiety likes to latch onto something. It likes to latch on to stressful events. It loves to latch on to transitions. It loves to latch on to specific things. And so, a lot of people who have generalized anxiety will also experience relationship anxiety because it is like this big life change. So, just a little note on that. Um, once you identify the root cause, then what? Okay. If you understand what it is, you understand that there's something causing it, then what do you do? That's the question, right? It's like, how do you heal it? And that is what I love to help you with because I've been doing this for myself now for many, many years. And I want to help you through this because this is kind of the hard part. Okay. So I personally want to be the support system to you that I wish I had back then when I was going through my relationship anxiety. So, what I did was I compiled everything I learned about healing relationship anxiety and even just personal development over the last 8 years all together into one system that I can share and be your personal support system. Okay. So I did this because I don't want you to feel alone, because I know that I felt alone during this, and that is something that I is my personal goal. Okay. I just don't want you to feel like you have to walk through this alone, because it's a lot. It really, really is. And if you're struggling right now, I know how hard it can be. And so I don't want you to have to go through it alone. So that is why I created the Engaged and Anxious support system. So this is a 21-day support system from me. Every day, you'll get an email with a different topic. And this is designed to help you uncover your root cause or causes of your relationship anxiety. It's designed to help you understand it, and then provide daily bite-sized healing strategies and exercises. So it's not supposed to be overwhelming. It's just something little every single day that you can think about and implement and work through. Okay. And it's just also there so that I can be in your inbox every single day, just knowing that I'm there for you and walking you through your healing journey with you. All right. So, in addition to that, you'll also have an interactive guidebook that is just a complement to this, where you can do some of the exercises and work through it that way. You can do it digitally, or you can print it out and write it out, however you prefer. So, in this system, we are going to it's loaded. There's so much in here. But basically, some of the things, the exercises, resources, and tools are to understand relationship anxiety more, pinpoint that root cause of your anxiety. We're going to understand projections and why they happen. So that's like when your partner is giving you the ick. We're going to help transform doubts. We're going to heal your self-trust. That's one of my favorites. We're going to rewire your limiting beliefs, which are the beliefs that you believe to be true about yourself. Love doing that work. That's so, so powerful. We're going to do some inner child work, which I love. Just helping you feel ready for marriage in general, doing some mindset work. We're going to heal that guilt and shame, because, oh my goodness, I know how hard that can be, carrying this around. We're going to do some general anxiety healing modalities, just in general, for just generalized anxiety, which can help in all areas of life. And then I love doing teachings on meditation, inner child work, forgiveness exercises, some gratitude practices, limiting beliefs, and more. So, like I said, this is jam packed. There's so much in 21 days. So, my goal for y'all is to go from feeling paralyzed about making this decision to get married to and over analyzing every detail about your relationship, asking everyone, literally even strangers, for validation on your choice, making countless pro cons lists, who's been there, and scrolling through the 67th Etsy page of cake toppers. I've also been there trying to make a decision on that. To feeling confident in your decision to get married or go to the next level with your relationship, getting exciting about wedding planning and making decisions, looking forward to life after the wedding, not just trying to get to the wedding, and sipping on champagne on the beach in Mexico, basking in honeymoon bliss. That's the goal, right? And becoming the most confident, happy version of yourself in the meantime, because this work not only helps with relationship anxiety, it helps with personal development and just being that most confident version of yourself. So it's kind of like a win-win. Now, I have had the pleasure of working with countless clients through their relationship anxiety, and I'd love to share a couple of their experiences with you. So, Sarah Sarah struggled with perfectionism and was able to see that her anxiety was coming from that. So she realized she had actually been spending her entire life making decisions for how she thought her mom would want her to. And when her mom said some comments about her future husband, she absolutely spiraled into anxiety. She thought she was making the wrong choice and trying to people please for her mom. And through this work, she was able to start making decisions for herself instead of for her mom. and stand firm in her relationship, not letting her fear of not being with the perfect partner get in the way, which is, for a perfectionist, something that we struggle with. It's really, really tough. So that is one example. And then we have Mike. Mike agonized over simple decisions in life, and he often was wondering if he was making the right decision or like the best decision. Um, and this got worse when it was time for him to get married. He was very unsure of his decision to propose or not. And he knew that he loved his partner. He knew that he wanted to take this next step, but he just had this fear of making a mistake, and it was holding him in like this limbo land. And so through this work, we were actually able to transform his mindset and work through his fear of making the wrong decision by restoring his self trust and becoming the version of himself that is more confident than ever. So, really, really happy for Mike. And then we have Jo. So Jo had finally found her perfect partner after many, many years. And like this person was exactly what she wanted. He was so perfect in so many ways, but for some reason, a few weeks before her wedding, she was just like overcome with anxiety. She was single for a really long time, and her anxiety, we found out, was actually coming from a fear of an identity shift. So she didn't know who she was going to be in this new era, and what her definition of like a wife really looked like. And she was also going to become a stepmother. So she worried that she didn't have what it took to become a mother and also have her own needs met, which is totally valid. So through this work, we were able to find that she had some really limiting false beliefs about herself. And this next chapter, we kind of rewired what it looked like for her. And so she was able to have a really beautiful wedding in just a few weeks after doing the work. So that's a really good example of like some people struggle with this anxiety for months or even years. Some people it just comes up quick and are able to work through it quick. So there's no like standard when it comes to relationship anxiety. It can come in a lot of different forms and it can come in a lot of different ways. Um, so not one person's experience is going to be like everyone else's. Everyone kind of has their own thing that they're dealing with. And that brings me to my own personal experience, which I really struggled with a lack of self-trust. Um, I had really been able to see that my lack of self-trust had conditioned me to not feel confident about making my own decisions because I had let my parents and other people make decisions for me in the past. And so through during this work, this is something that I really, really had to work on, and something that I still work on is just restoring self-trust and working through those limiting beliefs of thinking that I wasn't able or capable of making a confident decision for myself. And through doing this, I've been able to be so much more confident in not only my relationship, but like my career, my friendships, so many other areas of life. So, this work, like I said, it's not just for relationships, it really applies to so many other things. So, that is something that I really dealt with. And hopefully, these people, you can kind of see yourself in some of them as well, or myself. So, a lot of people have the question when starting this type of work, this healing work, of what if I realize I need to leave my partner? What if I realize that I'm doing the work and I need to leave? Well, I will tell you that I also was worried about that. That's what I thought too, until I realized that my anxiety wasn't from my relationship. It didn't have anything to do with it. The only reason I thought about leaving my relationship was because I wanted the anxiety to stop. And I thought that was the only way, kind of just like the runaway bride of like run away from your problems type situation. So I realized I just needed to go deeper. So I want to kind of use an analogy to help explain this. So picture this for a second. Picture that you are at the beach and you're laying there baking in the sun and it's hot, okay? And you're getting really uncomfortable. Now, you wanted to go to the beach. You've been looking forward to the beach. You usually love the beach. Um, this is a vacation that you've been looking forward to for a really long time. And so you're laying there and you are so excited, but you're just unable to enjoy it because all you can think about is getting sunburned and being uncomfortably hot. Okay. And everyone else around you looks like they're having fun. They're like loving the beach. And you're like, why are you not like freaking out about getting sunburned right now or getting overheated? And so you look around and you're like, well, I guess the only thing I can do is leave. And because that would solve the problem, right? Like, just need to get off the beach, get out of the heat, out of the sun. And I mean, that would be a solution, right? It would help because you would be out of the sun, but you don't want to leave the beach. You love the beach. You just don't want to be hot and sunburned. So, what you need is an umbrella. Because once you have the symptom gone, you realize that the beach is great. You love the beach. You're laying there under your umbrella and you say, I can't believe I ever thought about leaving this perfect day on the beach. So, I like to think of the support system as your umbrella. It's going to help you see more clearly and enjoy the beach and realize, oh, I didn't need to leave the beach. I just needed a little bit, needed something else to help this situation, to help me think more clearly and help me relax and help me feel better. So, the real question is, what will happen if you don't work through this? Well, the pattern repeats. If you do decide to leave, odds are this will just repeat with every partner that you have if you don't heal the root cause. Or you'll be stuck in the constant loop of questioning everything and will never actually commit or make a decision. You'll just be in what I like to call limbo land. Because if you're stuck in limbo land, you're unable to fully commit either way, and you're forced to make an emotional decision one way or the other. No one likes to be in limbo land, I'll tell you that. It's not a fun place to be. So, what if you don't work through this? Can you afford to not get help? I know for me, I always like to say it's time to put yourself first because this is something that is really, really, really hard. And it's okay to say that you need some help right now to get through it. It's okay to ask for that help and put yourself first so that you're able to feel better in this season. So that is why I created the support system. And so, again, this is something that is easy to digest every day. It's sent to you. It's just a little bit of support every single day in bite sized pieces to work through this anxiety. And when choosing the price for this, I really wanted to make this accessible to everyone. I had it at $197, but for right now, I'm actually only having it be $97. I really wanted to keep it under $100 to make it more accessible with the hope that if this is a stretch for you, maybe there is something that you can cut out of your wedding budget. Maybe there's someone you could cut off the guest list if you really had to that you don't even like that much. And there you go, have a little bit of extra money. Maybe cut out a flower arrangement or two in order to feel better because that's really the most important thing, right? And if that's something that you have trouble putting yourself first for, I really challenge you to explore that because I think peace of mind, in my opinion, is priceless. So right now it's only $97. So take advantage of that before it goes back up because I don't know how long I'm going to keep it like that. And just to make it a little bit sweeter, I do have a bonus for y'all that I'm really excited about. So if you decide to sign up for the support system, you're actually going to get the secret podcast bonus. Okay, this is something I'm so excited about. No one else has ever had access to this. Okay, this is brand new. This is my secret podcast that I share things that I have never shared anywhere else. So there are topics on how to know if it's your intuition or anxiety. There's one on how your cycle affects anxiety and hormones. There's one on why is my partner suddenly giving me the ick? There's one on what to do if you get triggered by someone on social media, or if you're having comparison issues. There's even a wedding day visualization and meditation, which I love. And one if you still have anxiety, or what if I still have anxiety after the wedding, to help with that as well. So, this is something that you'll get if you do sign up only for the support system. Okay, so this is a special little thing, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Okay, friends. So, real quick, I just wanted to share with you why I became a relationship anxiety coach. Okay, this is not something that I thought I was going to be when I was a little girl. This is something that just kind of fell into my lap when I decided to share about my experience and realized that this is something that's not talked about enough. This is something that a lot of people are struggling with. And so I knew I had to do something about it. And also, I just really, really want to help people not throw what could be an amazing life away, because I almost did. The past 8 years of my life have been the absolute best, and I cannot imagine if I would have let my anxiety win and take that away from me. I feel like that's my goal now, is to not let anxiety win, not let it steal joy from me or for anyone else. And I wish I just would have known what I know now a lot sooner. And so that's why it's on my heart to share that with you, and for you to not miss out on something really, really good. So I'm grateful that I just worked through my anxiety instead of giving up. And this is a little anniversary photo shoot of where we got engaged, which was really fun. Um, but I just want you to know that you don't have to do this alone. Okay. If you're still here, I know that you want to make the decision to let me support you through this. You could have left this webinar, but you haven't. And that shows me that you are committed, that you want to make this work. And that's really admirable. And I want to support you through it. And it's okay to ask for help, it's okay to receive it. So I know right now you're probably struggling with decisions. And so I want to make this easy for you. You don't have to make a decision on anything else but choosing you today. Okay. The only decision you have to make is saying yes to yourself and saying, I'm worth it. I'm worth it to feel supported. I'm worth it to get some help and work through this because I'm struggling right now. And that's okay. So, aside of all the other decisions, just decide you. Decide that you're worth it. Decide that you're not going to let anxiety win today. That's all you got to do. Okay, friend. Well, I want you to know that I see you and that I've been you and that I'm here for you. All right. And I truly hope to see you in the support system. And just know that it's going to be okay. And I'm here for you. Okay, friend. Take care and hope to see you soon.